Okay, we're about to read Stella Luna. As we go, I'm going to stop at certain vocabulary words and tell you what they mean to help you understand bats a little bit better. I also want you to think about bats versus birds, the difference between bats and birds. At the end, we'll come together and we'll talk about what they are. So this is Stella Luna by Janelle Cannon. In a warm and sultry forest far, far away, there once lived a mother fruit bat and her new baby. Within the first line, we know the main characters. Oh, how Mother Bat loved her soft, tiny baby. I'll name you Stella Luna, she crooned. Each night, Mother Bat would carry Stella Luna clutched to her breast as she flew out to search for food. I want to look at that word, clutched. Okay? To hold very tightly. If you're looking at the picture, she's holding her really tightly to her chest. So when you think of the word clutch, I think about my daughter, and if you give her a doll, oh, she squeezes it so tight and clutches it, and if you try to get it out of her hand, you can't, because she's clutching it really tightly. So there's our first vocabulary word, clutched. One night, as Mother Bat followed the heavy scent of ripe fruit, an owl spied her. On silent wings, the powerful bird swooped down upon the bats. Dodging and shrieking, Mother Bat tried to escape, but the owl struck again and again, knocking Stella Luna into the air. Her baby wings were as limp and useless as wet paper towels. Oh, I added a word on accident. Down, down she went, faster and faster, into the forest below. Okay, looking at the word swooped. On silent wings, the powerful bird swooped, coming down in a swift attack, suddenly coming down upon the bats. For this one, every time I have a vocabulary word, I try to relate it to my life. And on this one, I think about my old dog that I used to have walking around in the backyard, and the birds used to swoop down and like peck him on the back and then go up, and he'd be looking around like, wait, what was that? Okay, so swooping down. Another word that I don't have the card for right now, but it was limp. Her wings were as limp and useless as wet paper. So I want you to think about wet paper and how it's kind of like soggy, and it's not, if you pull on it, it's going to rip. They're saying that her wings, they're useless. They're not helping her in any way. They're limp. The dark, leafy tangle of branches caught Stella Luna as she fell. One twig was small enough for Stella Luna's tiny feet. Wrapping her wings around her, she clutched, there's that word again, the thin branch, trembling or shaking with cold and fear. Mother, Stella Luna squeaked, where are you? By daybreak, the baby bat could hold on no longer. Down, down, again, she dropped. Okay, we're imagining she's scared. She's lost her mother. She's alone now. She's falling out of a tree. She's probably not feeling good right now. Flump! Stella Luna landed headfirst in a soft, downy nest, startling the 3 baby birds who lived there. Okay, this word right here, soft, downy. The word downy, covered in or resembling soft, furry feathers. So I want you to think of that nest as a warm, soft place. Stella Luna quickly clambered from the nest and hung out of sight below it. She listened to the babble of the 3 birds. What was that? Cried Flap. I don't know, but it's hanging by its feet, chirped Flitter. Shh, here comes Mama, hissed Pip. All right, we're looking back at that word, clambered. Stella Luna quickly clambered from the nest and hung out of sight below. So I could just imagine her being like, oh no, ah! And going really quick and climbing out of that nest and hanging by her feet right underneath them, trying to get away from them. Another word that I noticed is this babble. She listened to the babble of the 3 birds. So I can imagine all those birds like talking to each other, right? Babbling to each other. Many, many times that day, Mama Bird flew away, always returning with food for her babies. Stella Luna was terribly hungry, but not for the crawly things Mama Bird brought. Finally, though, the little bat could bear it no longer. She climbed into the nest, closed her eyes, and opened her mouth. Plop! In dropped a big green grasshopper. So far we've got Stella Luna as our main character. Her problem is that she was once connected, clutched onto her mommy. An owl came and attacked them. Now she's not with her mom anymore. She's starving. Remember, her wings aren't very good. She decides, okay, well, I guess I'm just going to go in and eat with these birds. And the mom fed her. That's nice of her. Stella Luna learned to be like the birds. She stayed awake all day and slept at night. She ate bugs, even though they tasted awful. Her bat ways were quickly disappearing, except for one thing. Stellaluna still liked to sleep hanging by her feet. Once, when Mama was away, the curious baby birds decided to try it too. When Mama Bird came home, she saw 8 tiny feet gripping the edge of the nest. Before I even read the next sentence, I already know that Mama is not going to be thrilled that they are hanging upside down because they're birds, and that's not what they do. Eek! She cried. Get back up here this instant. You're going to fall and break your necks. The birds clambered back into the nest, but Mama Bird stopped Stellaluna. You are teaching my children to do bad things. I will not let you back into this nest unless you promise to obey the rules of this house. Stellaluna promised. She ate bugs without making faces, she slept in the nest at night, and she didn't hang by her feet. Stellaluna behaved as a good bird would. There's that word clambered again. They clambered back into the nest. Remember we said that clambered means to climb? But I can imagine they're doing it quickly, like, oh no, Mommy's here, get back in. Let's look at this part right here where it says, she ate bugs without making faces. So birds like to eat bugs. We can assume that bats do not like to eat bugs. At the very beginning, it said, yeah, and the mom said, a mother fruit bat. So she eats fruit. If you eat fruit and they're trying to make you eat bugs, you're probably like, this is disgusting. So birds eat bugs and bats eat fruit. Okay, then it says she slept in the nest at night. So we know birds sleep at night, but we know that bats don't do that. They fly at night. So that's another bird versus bat. She didn't hang by her feet. We know birds don't hang by their feet, but bats do. So these are the differences, and she's trying to pretend she's a bird. All the babies grew quickly. Soon the nest became crowded. Mama Bird told them it was time to learn to fly. One by one, Pip, Flitter, Flap, and Stellaluna jumped from the nest. Their wings worked. I'm just like them, thought Stellaluna. I can fly too. Well, I'm making a prediction. Stellaluna has not been like the birds in any way. Do we think she's going to be able to fly right away? Probably not. That's my prediction. Pip, Flitter, and Flap landed gracefully on a branch. Stellaluna tried to do the same. Okay, this word gracefully. Okay. I like how it has a picture of a dancer because I think of dancers as being so beautiful and graceful. It's easy. Their movements are easy. So Pip, Flitter, and Flap, they flew off. They were graceful. It was beautiful, and they landed on the branch. Stellaluna tried to do the same. Again, I'm making a prediction. She's probably not going to be very good at it. How embarrassing. We're reading the pictures. There she is. She's like, oh no, oh, whoa, oh no. Ah! Oh. She's not doing very good. She's not doing very well. I will fly all day, Stellaluna told herself. Then no one will see how clumsy I am. Okay, clumsy, lacking skill or lacking grace. So clumsy and graceful, they're opposites. They're antonyms. They mean two different things, two opposite things. The next day, Pip, Flitter, Flap, and Stellaluna went flying far from home. They flew for hours, exercising their new wings. The sun is setting, warned Flitter. We had better go home, or we will get lost in the dark, said Flap. But Stellaluna had flown far ahead and was nowhere to be seen. The 3 anxious birds went home without her. So I'm predicting a new problem. Stellaluna is no longer with the birds. They left her. All alone, Stellaluna flew and flew until her wings ached and she dropped into a tree. I promised not to hang by my feet, Stellaluna sighed. So she hung by her thumbs and soon fell asleep. She didn't hear the soft sound of wings coming. So if I'm thinking about the theme, like what might the author be trying to teach me? This one bat is trying so hard to be someone that she's not. I'm sure if she was just herself, she'd be happier. Hey, a loud voice said, why are you hanging upside down? Stellaluna's eyes opened wide. She saw a most peculiar face. Okay, peculiar means weird or strange. So she's opening her eyes and she's like, oh, that's weird. I'm not upside down. You are, Stellaluna said. But you're a bat. Bats hang by their feet. You are hanging by your thumb, so that makes you upside down. The creature said, I'm a bat. I'm hanging by my feet. That makes me right side up. Stella Luna was confused. Mama Bird told me I was upside down. She said I was wrong. She wasn't wrong for a bat. She was wrong for a bird. Wrong for a bird, but not for a bat. More bats gathered around to see the strange young bat who behaved like a bird. Stella Luna told them her story. "You ate bugs?" stuttered one. "You slept at night?" gasped another. "How very strange," they all murmured. Wait, let me look at this child." A bat pushed through the crowd. "An owl attacked you?" she asked, sniffing Stella Luna's fur. She whispered, "You are Stella Luna. You are my baby." So her mother has been reunited with her. "You escaped the owl?" cried Stella Luna. "You survived?" "Yes," said Mother Bat as she wrapped her wings around Stella Luna. "Come with me and I'll show you where to find the most delicious fruit. You'll never have to eat another bug as long as you live." "But it's nighttime," Stella Luna squeaked. Remember, she thinks she can't fly at night. "We can't fly in the dark or we'll crash into trees." "We're bats," said Mother Bat. "We can see in the darkness. Come with us." Stella Luna was afraid, but she let go of the tree and dropped into the deep blue sky. Stella Luna could see. She felt as though rays of light shone from her eyes. She was able to see everything in her path. Even if there was no picture in here, I can imagine it. It said that it felt as if rays of light shone from her eyes. So I imagine like two headlights on a car shining out. Soon the bats found a mango tree, and Stella Luna ate as much of the fruit as she could hold. "I'll never eat another bug as long as I live," cheered Stella Luna as she stuffed herself full. "I must tell Pip, Flitter, and Flap." The next day, Stella Luna went to visit the birds. "Come with me and meet my bat family," said Stella Luna. "Okay, let's go," agreed Pip. "They hang by their feet, and they fly at night, and they eat the best food in the world," Stella Luna explained to the birds on the way. As the birds flew among the bats, Flap said, "I feel upside down here," so the birds hung by their feet. So when they got there and all the other bats were upside down, they're like, "We don't fit in. We've got to try to do what you're doing." "Wait until dark," Stella Luna said excitedly. "We will fly at night." Can the birds fly at night? No, they can't see. When night came, Stella Luna flew away. Pip, Flitter, and Flap leapt from the tree to follow her. "I can't see a thing," yelled Pip. "Neither can I," howled Flitter. "Ah!" shrieked Flap. "They're going to crash," gasped Stella Luna. "I must rescue them." Stella Luna swooped about, grabbing her friends in the air. She lifted them to a tree, and the birds grasped a branch. Stella Luna hung from the limb above them. There's that word swooped again. She's dropping down to get them. "We're safe," said Stella Luna. Then she sighed. "I wish you could see in the dark, too." So they're realizing that they're different. "We wish you could land on your feet," Flitter replied. Pip and Flap nodded. They perched in silence for a long time. So perch is to sit at a high point. So if you look on this picture, here they are sitting on that limb high up in the tree. Oh yeah, she is hanging with her arms around her. "How can we be so different and feel so much alike?" mused Flitter. "And how can we feel so different and be so much alike?" wondered Pip. "I think this is quite a mystery," Flap chirped. "I agree," said Stella Luna, "but we're friends, and that's a fact." So the whole time, Stella Luna was trying to be somebody that she wasn't. If we could pick one word that is the theme of being yourself, what might it be, Elliot? What about acceptance? Right? Accepting ourselves for who we actually are is the message that the author wanted to teach us. So now, after reading Stella Luna, I have a lot more background knowledge on bats.